Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good morning to all USIM staff and our international partners. My name is Nurkhamimi Bin Zainuddin from USIM Islam Malaysia. Today, I will share with all of you about FLOOC, the new term that I coined in, or we call it as Foreign Language Open Online Courses. So, question is, how do we differentiate between FLOOC? What are the special characteristics in FLOOC that we don't have in our other open online course? First of all, let us take a look at the languages around the world. So, at the first category, most of the learners from the research learners they said that the languages that are easy to master, which are Spanish, Dutch, Portuguese, Swedish, French, African, Italian, Norwegian, and Romanian. So these are languages that's easy to master and understand. Whereas in the medium category, we have the Hindi, Thai, Russian, Serbian, Vietnamese, Greek, Turkish, Hebrew, Polish, and Finnish. So from our point of view, the big question mark is, where is Arabic? Is it fall under easy or medium? Arabic language fall under the big umbrella of the hardest language to master, together with Japanese, Chinese, and Korean. This is the result from the research. So, in the 21st century teaching and learning, how do we improve our teaching and learning so that we can change at least Arabic from the hardest language to master to medium, becoming so that after this we can change from hardest language to the medium to the easiest language to master. Let us continue with the 21st century language learners. As far as the teaching and learning is concerned, the conventional method, we use the method of hierarchy, where the student will get the knowledge, we obtain the knowledge from the lecturers, and then lecturers will seek the knowledge from the sheikh or the experts. But now, we need to understand that students are using the term hierarchy. That means if they ask the lecturer to respond or to answer for any question in the class or outside the class, if they ask one question, the lecturer did not answer, or the lecturers don't answer the question, they will not wait, okay? They will ask from Vimeo, from Wikipedia, from academia.edu, from ResearchGate, or even from the most pious expert in the internet, which is Google, right? So that means, as educators, as the lecturers, we need to be ready 24/7, okay? Or we can promote the pedagogy or peer-to-peer learning by using the cybergogy or the technology in our teaching and learning, okay? Because I still remember in class, when my students they are coming to the class to attend my lecture, the first question that come out from their mouth would be, Ustaz or Doctor, can I find these notes from the YouTube? If the answer is yes, they will not listen to you anymore. Okay, they will keep on busy. They will keep themselves busy with the phones and tablet and PC. They will not listen to your lecture anymore. But if you use your class to proceed with the activities, okay, the role playing, okay, demonstration, presentation, project work, rather than asking your student to read this page and this page, you will be a very good one. Right. So the challenges that have been faced by the foreign language lecturers and educators, which are um, foreign language lecturers are expected to cover everything in the textbook. We have our own syllabus. So foreign language lecturers and teachers, they are forced to finish all the topics and the subtopics from the beginning until the end. And furthermore, larger FL courses or foreign language courses, they have more than 200 students in the classroom. Me, myself, I have at least 248 students in my class. So how can we improve our teaching and learning or teaching delivery? How do we improve our one-to-one session with the student, or how do we improve the techniques on what we impart or we deliver from the lecturers to the student? Okay, if we have only 20 to 30 students, we have much more time. We have more time to focus on the student from one to the another. But if we have more than 200, how do we focus on the student themselves? Okay, that's among the challenges have been faced by the foreign language educators and lecturers. Let us change to the learning pyramid. Okay, it is what we call conventional versus interactive teaching method. Okay, from the result from the National Training Laboratories main. Okay, lecture will contribute to the knowledge retention rates about 5% only. If you upgrade to reading, it will change to 10%. If you add some more audiovisual aids, teaching aids, it will add to 20%. If you ask your student to do demonstration or the lecturers themselves, they demonstrate in front of the students, the retention rates will increase up to 30%. But this is a passive teaching methods. So in FLOOC or in foreign language open online course, whether you are using Facebook, you are using Madal, you are using Open Learning, Future Learn, edX, Udemy, and any other platforms, we don't focus more on the platform, but we focus more on the pedagogy as well as the content. Okay, we must make sure, or we need to make sure that all the content fits with the requirement or the needs of the student. Okay, we don't focus on the platform because platform can be any platform. All right, right. So when we ask students to teach others, for sure they will read, they will do some demonstration, they will do some discussion in order for them to practice and to make them able for them to teach others. Right, we have so many open online courses in the world, including XMOOC, CMOOC, Spoke, Smoke, and Book. XMOOC, which is the common type of MOOC, organized around a central professor and core curriculum. This is a very traditional one. Some people just dump their content, e-content in the platform, and they call it as MOOC. We have another version of MOOC, which is a CMOOC by Josh Seaman and Stephen Down, which promotes connectivity. And CMOOC resembles graduate seminar courses, course materials, which provide a starting point for student discussion with the core of the learning coming from student to student interaction. So that means in CMOOC, the course has been conducted not just by the lecturers, but by the student themselves. So for me, CMOOC, if we are working or we are teaching more than one country, let's say one open online course has been involved by several countries, I see that CMOOC is very compatible. Let's say the lecturer does not come to the class for 2 weeks, okay? He's bedridden in the hospital. but the MOOC will be conducted business as usual. We have book here, BOOC, which is a big open online courses, which are similar to MOOCs, but limited to smaller number of students, typically 50. We have SMOOC, synchronous massive online courses, where the lectures are broadcast live, requiring students to log in at specific times in order to hear the lectures. That means after the recording, after the live broadcasting, students from outside cannot join the SMOOC because it is a synchronous massive online courses. We have small private online courses which are similar to book, in that which the class size are limited, but the student-teacher interactions are more closely modeled after traditional classroom interaction. So actually, the model that they have, the method that they use in SPOKE normally or typically will be the flipped classroom, whereas where the lecture, the input will come prior the class. During the lecture, they will proceed with the activities, with demonstration and presentation and group work. And then the feedback will come later on after they finish the class or the lectures. So what about FLOOC? What are the differences between FLOOC and other open online courses? Okay, some of the online courses, I see that normal open online course, whether it is CMOOC, it is MOOC, they focus on the platform, and normally they will start the MOOC with the video. Okay, whereas we have so many type of students. We have kinesthetic student, we have visual student, we have auditory student, we have logical student, we have mathematics student. Okay, some of them prefer to start their course not by using the video, but they are using the FAQ, frequent asked question. They're using the diary, journal, maps. We have by using a film, okay, film-based learning. Some of the theories in physics and mathematics, they are using film as their teaching aids for students to understand the concept of the topic. Right? So now we would like to change the paradigm, 360-degree shift from the normal open online course to another paradigm shift for foreign language, especially for those who teach Arabic. In Malaysia, we have Arabic as second language, Korean, Japanese, Mandarin, Russian. Okay, so we like to focus on this international language. We want to change the pedagogy to andragogy, because from the pedagogy to andragogy, we shift to heutagogy, which is a self-determined learning. So let's say, I would like to stress on one example, okay? In PBL or problem-based learning, normally the lecturer will give the problem to the student. But now we would like to have the student as a problem finders. That means in PBL, we want the student to be the problem finders, not just the lecturer. Reason for learning, learners place their trust in the teacher, but now learning is not necessarily sequential or linear. Motivation of learning, for pedagogy, motivation derived from external or extrinsic sources, but now the motivation lies in the experiencing flow and knowing how to learn. The most important thing, the role of the teacher or the role of the educators, which is we want to change their role from the pedagogue to become a coach. That means we would like to change the phrase, some says, don't give the student fish because tomorrow they will come for another fish. They change the paradigm to don't give them fish, but give them the fishing rod. But I do think in 21st century teaching and learning period, foreign language student, we need to give them the fishing rod and then the map as well as the instruction. That means we ask them from 5 to 7 a.m. you must fish at this spot, spot A. After 7 o'clock, you need to change your spot to spot B, okay, because there are so many fishes there. And at 5 to 7 p.m., change to spot C. The same goes to the education. Some educators, they ask the student to find the sources or resources or references from the Google. Okay, you just Google this, you just Google that. Okay, you just Google it. But there is no instructions. So student, sometimes they lost in translation. They don't know how to find, where to find, when to find, and so on and so forth. So actually in FLOOC, we would like to promote the terms of putting the student in the driver's seat. Okay, putting the student in the driver's seat. So let's say if we want to teach our daughter or son or children on how to drive a car, rather than you sit on the driver's seat, okay, you sit in the driver's seat and teach them how to drive a car, I think we need to ask our children to sit in the driver's seat and drive the car. So we just give the instruction from far, so they will learn better and better. So this is a normal diagram of teacher-centered classroom, where the teachers will act as a director and the student as consumer. Okay, so the consumer will go through the product, process, and content. Okay, and then get the knowledge at the end. So along the way, they will have student work, assignment, research, curriculum, planning. They will undergo assessment, the technology used, presentation, and resources. But now, let us change to the student-centered classroom in our FLOOC. Okay, this is what FLOOC promotes, whereby we use teacher will be as a guide, okay, and student as a creator. Okay, so that means we ask the student to be our co-pilot, co-creator, co-curator, okay, to work on the content. So that means content of the textbook, content of the learning materials will be coming not just from the lecturers, but from the student themselves, so that we can make sure that the learning material will suit the requirement of the student. This is very important. Okay, so the content, product, and process, we can ask our student to be with us to work on the content, the product, and the process. So the student will get the knowledge, okay, will get the how to get the knowledge, the process, and then at the end, the product of the knowledge. That means they can not just from the theory part, but they can apply or implement the knowledge to be as an end product. Okay, so which type of learners are you? Are you in the circle of traditionalists, baby boomers, Generation X, or millennials? I do believe if we can construct or if we can design our open online course that can really cater this kind of participant or consumers or learners, I'm sure that your open online course will be a boom one, okay, will be a great one, okay. People or learners from around the world, lifelong learners will register to your open online course because the content of your course are really in line with their needs and their perceptions. Right, so in FLOOC, we need to make sure that all the contents and the pedagogical articulated learning materials are really or cater for the different learning styles, okay, whereby a student can play, pause, and repeat the lesson as they wish. And we need to make sure that the mantra of FLOOC is not just online, but offline as well. That means after they logged out from the open online platform, they still can use the learning materials, okay, whether it is MP3, podcast, video, PDF, and assessment. They can download it, and then when they come to their home, or when the rural people are coming from the rural areas, they can just get the internet for 5 minutes to download everything from the FLOOC, and then when they come to their kampung or their village, they can share with their community. And also, we need to understand that the student needs in the FLOOC and offer the timely feedback. Sometimes when the instructors, they give responses after 2 weeks, I don't think that student will love this. But if you make yourself available 24/7, okay, you don't need to burden yourself. You can ask your student to be the student champion. Okay, that means one question from the student will be answered from another student. Okay, so let the student do the Q&A, interaction, reflections. Okay, so as a coach, we just coach them what is do and don'ts in the open online course. And FLOOC also helping busy and struggling students. Normally, people who are using open and distance learning method, they are working, right? So in the daytime, they will work in their offices, laboratories, factories, and so on and so forth. At night, they will continue to study. So we want to make sure that all the contents can suit the requirement of this kind of learners. And also, we would like to emphasize more on teacher and student student interaction, not just teacher to student, but student to student interaction as well. And also, FLOOC enables customizable and flexible instruction. That means some of the MOOCs, they need to start with chapter 1 and then chapter 2, chapter 3 in sequence. But in FLOOC, some of the students, maybe they don't have the motivation to start with the chapter 1 first, so they can jump to chapter 3. Maybe after that, chapter 7. It's a kind of a modular thing. Okay? And in class, normally in our lectures and tutorial class, we only have like 3 to 4 hours. But using FLOOC, we can have 4 hours more and more and more, because the interaction normally in the class is just 2 hours, but the rest of the instruction will be coming from the outside activities and interaction. Right, let's come to the 21st century foreign language learners. Okay, so if we refer to Surah Al-Isra, verse 36, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم إن السمع والبصر والفؤاد كل أولئك كان عنه مسؤولا. That means everything, eyes, ears, and nose, our all senses will be asked by the Allah during the hereafter. So that means we need the the thing as what we can compress from this ayah, which is how do we use our 5 senses to ensure that our student can get the knowledge according to their preferences. So actually we have student, we have visual learners, we have social, logical, verbal, solitary, physical, and oral. But sadly, unfortunately, in class, we only cater the verbal learners or visual learners, but we don't cater any other aspect or any other types of learners. You just imagine when you enter a restaurant, okay, like in this picture, you can take a look at my slide from bit.do/bipp. You can see the caption below. All right. So these are kind of food. Maybe in this restaurant or this hotel, we have like 120 or 160 dishes. Okay. But somehow, when we ask a friend, okay, we ask our friend, what do you want to eat? Some say, oh, I don't have anything to eat, even though we have so many dishes here. Why? The question is why? Because perhaps, or maybe, or probably, even though we have 160 dishes in one table, but it doesn't mean that all the dishes suit the requirement or the preferences of the people themselves, or of our friend. Okay, um, so uh, the thing is, maybe if we don't have, we don't need 160 dishes, okay, to make our friend happy. But if we have 3 or 4 dishes, it will be enough if the dishes are really suit the requirement or the preferences of the friend. Okay, so in this diagram, I just want to visualize when the customer, they went to the hotel or to the restaurant um, to have a very good meal or food. They will go for, asking for the food menu, okay, and they will choose whether they want the set A Malay food, set B Japanese food, set C Chinese food. Okay, so from that menu, they will go. The customer order will be taken by the chef and the cook. Okay, so the cook will start to prepare from the ingredients, way to cook, and then instrument. So some of the fail cook, they will choose the instrument first rather than the ingredients and way to cook, right? But in this model, we need to make sure that we prioritize the customer order first, and then ingredients, way to cook, and then instrument. That means if you want to cook a curry, you use a small pan, you still can cook, but it will take more time, right? So after you finish, you will prepare a food buffet in the restaurant, and the validation will be done by the master chef, and we need to put the tag. This is what kind of food, nasi lemak, masak lemak cili api, so that when visitors are coming, and they will not ask a lot of questions because the tag is already there. And then after customers, they have done eating, they will proceed with giving the feedback and testimonial so that the chef, the cook, and the restaurant can improve their product from time to time. Same goes in teaching and learning. Learners as our customer, we need to prioritize their learning styles, whether they are coming from kinesthetic learners, they are visual learners, auditory learners. Okay, so as a learning designers, we will gather the information. After getting their style, they will know about whether they are auditory learners. So we will start preparing the content, and then the pedagogy, and then the technology, so that we can prepare a very good learning buffet. So after that, we need to put in our FLOOC tagging, whether this video or learning materials are suitable for PBL learners, for um, mathematics, physics, and languages, Arabic, Japanese, Korean, Russian, so on and so forth. And last but not least, the validation will be done by the subject matter expert. This is what is lack in our open online course. Some of the learning designers, they will do the learning content without being having without being communicating with the subject matter expert. So, and last but not least, we need to have the feedback and reflection so that we can improve our open online course from time to time. Alright, so I think there's a question from Nur Shakira in Malay. Apa beza FLOOC dengan open online course yang lain? What are the differences between FLOOC and other open online course? So I do think that some of the instructional designers or some of the educators, they feel that platform is so, for me, FLOOC, we need to emphasize more on the content. So that means we need to make sure that the platform really works with the orthography, okay, on how, or typography, on how we demonstrate or we construct our content. Let's say in my case, I'm using Arabic. Some of the platform, they don't work very good with the Arabic characters. Okay, when we type Assalamualaikum, it will be like from left to right. So this will affect the emotion and motivation of the student as well. Okay. Second, we need to make sure for FLOOC, the differences are for normal or for ordinary open online course, we will ask subject matter expert to do the validation. But in FLOOC, we need to get the permission or the validation from the native speaker too. That means if you have your content in Arabic, you need to ask some of the views or reviews and the comment from the expert from the Arabic country or from Arabic native speaker too, in order for us to get a very good content. Right, so last but not least, in teacher learning, we have so many learning theories like behaviorism, cognitivism, constructivism, connectivism. So what after this? What's next? Okay. Actually, in the period of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, behaviorism, we already have in the case of Jibril Nabi Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, in terms of revealing the wahyu. Cognitivism, Nabi Muhammad and Rasulullah and companions. Constructivism, companions and tabi'in. And connectivism, Ishya of the scholars. That means we started with the Jibril, read, and then Muhammad will follow. This is behaviorism. Cognitivism, when Nabi Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam deliver the da'wah to the companion of Sahaba. Okay, it's a cognitivism. They build in their internal strength. Constructivism, after wafat of the Rasulullah, companion will continue with the tabi'in, but now we don't have companion and tabi'in, we have ijtihad of scholar, or we have ijma and qiyas. So this is what we call connectivism. So actually in Islam, we already started this kind of learning theories at least 1,400 years ago. But what's next? So I personally feel that we need to go back to the creator so that we can call it holisticism. That means we can take a little bit from connectivism, a little bit from constructivism, connectivism, or we jumble up and then we construct again so that in FLOOC we will use the theory of holisticism in order for us to make a balanced and holistic content, holistic educators, and holistic students. If there any question, second question from Faiz Aziz, kenapa ramai student biasanya tak completekan semua aktiviti dalam MOOC? So we have leftovers. Okay, some student will register for in a MOOC, but they don't complete it. I think because some of the contents are boring. Okay, they can find this content from other platforms, from other website or Web 2.0 like YouTube, Vimeo. So in order for you to attract your student in your MOOC, open online course, you need to make sure that you must inject and add some flavor of your local student. Okay, that means you need to address them. Okay, put the picture of your student, your discussion, make it alive. Okay, maybe some of the student for foreign language courses, you need to put some translation for beginners only, not for the intermediate and advanced. Okay, so when your contents does not fit the requirement or the needs of the student, for sure they will left after 1 or 2 weeks. So that's why I think why student left our open online course after several weeks, they don't complete it until 100%. Alright, so I think that's all from me today. Thank you very much. We would like to apologize for any technical difficulties in this live streaming. Inshallah, we will upload the full version in our USIM official Facebook. I would like to thank all of you, USIM staff, our international collaborators and partners, So stay tuned with another edition of Facebook Live in conjunction with the e-learning Roadshow 2018. Syukran jazilan. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.